Next unit of the History 295 course is entitled Data Visualization. And in this unit, we're going to be looking at some examples and some apps for taking raw data, statistics, numbers, and using software or an app to turn those numbers into a visual product so that a user can better understand what those numbers really mean. And so that's basically what data visualization is, like visualizing data. That's the whole term here and everything. Um, and so actually, in my note, I just have a little bit here. Data visualization is really a subset of something called information graphics. And information graphics is basically a way of using some sort of graphic to portray complicated information. And I cite here from the wiki entry, it was kind of interesting to me that the wiki entry used the DC Metro map as a really good example of an infographic. And that's something that we've seen all the time. People have it up on their apartment walls or whatever as a piece of art and everything. But that map really has an enormous amount of information that's portrayed in those red, orange, blue, green, yellow lines and everything. Um, One of the things about data visualization that I find really interesting is the tools. Um, if you're if you've been working on the web for a long time, like myself, and you've been coding web pages and everything, it's always been really difficult to uh, code graphics and portray data information, statistics in some sort of coded way that will allow an easy graphical interpretation of that data. It just wasn't easy with coding and everything. But now there are all these tools. There are tools, apps on the web that just allow you to dump the data into the tool, and then the tool selects the kind of visualization, the way you want it portrayed. And so the example I use is the one that I've been working on for a long time now, the Slatington Historical Statistics. These are historical statistics derived from the U.S. Census for my hometown in Pennsylvania. And this is done using Many Eyes, and Many Eyes is a tool that I upload the data, and then it takes the population statistics, the year by year numbers, and then portrays it as this line graph. Now, there's other ways I could have portrayed it, use bar graph and different kinds of graphics and everything, but looking at the line graph, it's a lot easier to understand the numerical data than just looking at the sequence of data. And so like I have a whole bunch of these. I think this one here is a bar graph. Let's see if it comes up. And so this is according to um, the place of origin of the inhabitants of Slatington in 1870. And so you see by far most of them were born in Pennsylvania, and fewer uh, down the way. But this is a bar graph. So this is a data visualization, and we can click on this, I think, and show it by percentages. Um, and so it's like really hard to look at all the numbers and understand what's being said. But if you look at the visualization, you can get it really quickly and everything. And the power of Many Eyes is that I didn't have to uh, take a piece of graph paper and make a graph and scan it in and then upload it and digitize it and everything. I mean, I just put the numbers in there. And so there's a whole lot of different apps. Many Eyes is what I've used, but um, I have a couple lists. Here's a list of 20, and here's a list of a whole bunch of them. There's a whole lot of them out there and everything. Some of them are really hard to figure out and everything, unless you're have programming background. Some of them are very simple to use and everything, and so I used a pretty simple one there. But there's a lot of them out there. In addition, there's a lot of different statistics that you can have access to that make it easy to come up with a data thing. Some examples, some reading. I have that all under the notes. Uh, what I didn't do, and this is kind of an oversight on my part, is in the unit here, I actually have a data visualization assignment uh, where you're supposed to come up with your own data set and then upload it and create a data visualization using one of the different tools. And so I'm going to be experimenting and trying to get more and more students involved in my survey courses, playing with this to see how it works. It's really interesting. It really shows the whole data visualization topic really shows the way the web is developing with these kind of online tools in the cloud. You put the materials in the cloud and you work with them rather than working on your desktop and doing all hands-on and everything. So that's a data visualization unit for History 295.